It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live Q&A. This is going to be Q&A number 158. So I'm just going to move a few things around here. We have some people on the chat already, which is great. Ronnie Thomas, hey Ash, hey, how are you? Glad you could join. Ronnie Thomas, I'm still shocked they killed off Rick. Do you think Rick should have lived longer or not? Because honestly, I will miss him. Rest in peace, Rick Grimes, 2003 to 2019. Yeah, it was definitely shocking. It was out of the blue a little bit. I would say two things. I don't mind Rick dying because I think it could potentially move the story forward. But the way they did it was an absolute mess. Let's just put it that way. The second thing is that they could have left it to issue 200. Doing it now is fine. It's just that it would have been more, what do you call it? Not iconic, but it would have been more appropriate, let's say, to put it in issue 200 because it's the end of like a whole story. You know what I mean? But I absolutely agree with you. I already miss him, and we haven't really had an issue without him yet, like after his death. Critical King Can 214, hey, how are you? Glad you could join. Ronnie Thomas, also, do you think the cast of Fear might have a chance to join The Walking Dead? I think there's a chance or possibility that Fear the Walking Dead characters will cross over to The Walking Dead, but I don't think that we're going to have an entire cast go into the other. If they do that, they're going to have to cancel the show, like cancel Fear the Walking Dead, which I don't think they're going to do. Critical King Can 214, I'm okay with Rick and dying, but I just hate that Carl didn't kill Sebastian. That's one part of it. Not him necessarily killing Sebastian, but being so cold. You know what I mean? That's the part that really took me out of the moment. And also the fact that we didn't get any scenes between Rick and Carl, when Carl, or as Rick is dying or dead. Like, we didn't have that. We didn't see anyone react to Rick's death. So there's a lot of things that they completely missed, and they completely ruined, I would say. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Negan might have changed into a completely new character? He's gonna have to. If Negan comes back and is the exact same character, then that's just pointless, or it just doesn't make sense. It's as if they didn't really want to take Negan out and they just brought him back. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of, we will question their confidence in the story. You know what I mean? Voltex33, hi Ash, hi, how are you? Glad you could join. Voltex33, if Vendel dies, I'm done with Fear the Walking Dead. Where is he? He hasn't been seen since the first episode. But he's not really my top 5 characters. He's not in my top 5 characters even. So I wouldn't mind if he doesn't come back. Speaking of which, I do want to say this here real quick. I was able to watch this episode of Fear the Walking Dead for tonight, episode 3 earlier, because of what do you call it? AMC Premiere. I'm not gonna post my reaction. I have it already. I edited it and everything. I'm not gonna post it until tonight, but I'm gonna go into your questions with a little bit of pause to think about whether what I know is from the last episode or it's from the episodes that have already aired. So if you see me pausing a little bit, specific to Fear the Walking Dead questions, that's why, because I want to make sure I'm not spoiling anything for you guys. Critical King Ken 214, what happened to the guy in the wheelchair and the woman? They haven't been seen this season at all. They were there for a couple seconds, I think, or a couple minutes in the first episode, but we haven't seen them afterwards. I don't know what happened to them. Ronnie Thomas, also, how do you think Daryl would have reacted if he saw Rick Walker? Would he be, or if he was in the comics? You know how Rick or Daryl reacted when he thought Rick was dead? It would be the same thing. Maybe multiply that by 5 or 500. And, you know, he would have to put him down, just like he put down Merle. It would have been very interesting, though, if you think about it. The connection with Merle and Daryl, you know, they're brothers, and how Daryl said, Rick said to Daryl, you're my brother. And if we get a scene where Daryl has to put down Rick, just like he put down Merle, his own brother. So it could have been very, very interesting and iconic if they went that route. In the TV show, I mean. Voltex33, have you watched Chernobyl, the highest rated TV show? I have not. I might check it out. Depends. But yeah, I haven't checked it out. I don't know what type of show it might be. Like, if it's... Yeah, I'll check out the trailer to see if I'm interested to checking it out. Voltex33, do you think Daryl will get the same storyline with Commonwealth as Rick in the comics? I think they're going to remix Commonwealth significantly. They have to. The core of what the Commonwealth is might stay the same, but they're going to have to change a lot of the specifics. Ronnie Thomas, how do you think Rick would have, or what? How do you think Rick would have, or what would he have done if, instead of him dying, Sebastian kills Carl instead? How Rick would have dealt with the loss, and also would he have killed Sebastian? Yeah, he would have. He definitely would have. He would have lost his cool again and gone a little crazy again, and he would have been after vengeance, no doubt. But going back to what I was saying, let me answer this one first. Ronnie Thomas, hopefully Rick won't die like in the movies. In the movie. I think he might. Like, based off of the comics, I think I think that's where they're heading. They're gonna have Rick die in a similar fashion. Not that the Commonwealth is in the movies. I'm not saying that. That's why I'm saying they're gonna remix that completely. But I think he's gonna end up dying in the movies, because I don't think he's gonna come back to the TV show, if we are to believe what they're saying. But what I was saying about fear before, about the fact that I saw the episode for tonight, what I can tell you guys is I enjoyed this episode a lot. And I would say if you are a fan of not connecting, but Easter eggs or things like that in Fear the Walking Dead from The Walking Dead, you will absolutely love this episode. And also Dwight, you know, it's his episode, and it's a great episode. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna say more because it's gonna spoil things for you, but what I can say is great episode. They explained how Dwight got to where he was phenomenally. They did it great, like flawlessly. They made it make sense. It wasn't a stretch. It made sense. And it seems like the way they're integrating into the story is actually pretty good. There's also some crazy twists in this episode, which you might not see coming. But it's a great episode. I enjoyed this episode a lot more than the first 2 episodes. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Maggie could have Rick death if she come back? She could. They're gonna have to change things up a little bit, but she could. She definitely could. But at the same time, what does it add to the story? Because in the comics, Rick's death, the way he died, may impact Carl going forward. How is Maggie's death gonna move any of the characters forward, you know, or their character story forward? That's one part of it, but she could definitely, if they do it right. Voltex33, I hope they expand the radiation storyline, because it would be a big waste if they don't. Absolutely, I hope they do. I think, why would you even bring that up if you're not going to invest story on it? You know what I mean? So they better. By the way, they recently released some pretty interesting character portraits for the characters of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. I did a video talking about that, so if you missed it, definitely go check it out because there's lots of interesting stuff going on based off of the character portraits that I talk about in that video. So if you missed it, and if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. Voltage 33, Carl will be shocked when he'll meet Sheriff Kapoor. Maybe he will call him father when he sees him. No, they're not gonna be that much on the nose with it. But he will be shocked for sure. Carl will say something along the lines of, "You look like my dad," or something like that for sure. If they even meet each other. I don't know if Sheriff Kapoor is gonna meet with Negan or Carl the first time he's introduced. That's another part of it, but I don't think they're going to be that much obvious with it, like you said. Like calling him his dad or something. I don't think they'll go that far. I hope they don't go that far, because that's a little ridiculous, if you think about it. We're 13 minutes in. We'll do, like I said, like we always do, half an hour Q&As. So we'll do 15 minutes and then another 15. Oh, yeah, we've done 15 minutes. Sorry. We'll do another 15 minutes. And that'll be the end of the stream. Critical King Cancer 14, what's your favorite season from Fear the Walking Dead? Character, location, villain. Favorite season, character, location, villain. Favorite season would have to be season 1. Favorite character, I would say Daniel Salazar. Favorite villain, Walker, I would say. If you remember the Native Indian American, I think that's what they're called. That character. That was an interesting character. We haven't had a lot of villains, to be honest. A lot of good villains in Fear the Walking Dead. Least favorite villain, the villain from season 4, second half. The dirty girl, the dirty woman. She annoyed the hell out of me. Voltex 33, do you think we'll see a big time jump in the comics now? There's a chance, but where we are right now, it's a critical point in the story, I would say. So, I don't think they're going to do a lot of time jumping at the moment. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Rick might have survived if Sebastian did not shoot him again 3 times? No, he was shot in the heart, I think. He would have been gone regardless. Voltex 33, Fear the Walking Dead has never had a proper villain. All of them were like one episode thing, or were badly written or killed too early. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. But for tonight's Fear the Walking Dead episode, right after it's done, my reaction is going to be up because I already have it. So I'm just going to post it or upload it right as the episode ends. So as soon as the episode ends, be on the channel because my reaction will be uploaded. Ronnie Thomas, if Rick dies in issue 200, that would have been cool. Absolutely. I don't know why they didn't do it. Like, the only thing I can think of is maybe it's the end of the compendium where Rick dies. So that's why it doesn't quite match up with the issue number. That's the only thing that could, or that I can think of, that would have prevented them from having his death in issue 200. Ronnie Thomas, love you, 3000 Rick. No idea what you mean by that. Weltex33, have you read Letter Hacks? Kirkman said he planned Rick's storyline and who's gonna kill him 5 years ago, and it wasn't related to the TV show. Yeah, I heard about it. I don't read the Letter Hacks anymore. I don't know why. I just don't. But I read about that, or I heard about that. I don't believe him, honestly. If he's had 5 years to think about the story, and he still did it the way he did it, that's ridiculous. That just shows that he doesn't care anymore, in a way. Critical King Ken 214, I don't think it was kind of... I did think it was kind of weird that no one else but Carl had big reaction to his death. Yeah, absolutely. And that's just a part of it, a big part of it. No one reacted. Carl and Rick didn't have a moment together before Rick really died. And it was out of nowhere, and there was no setup for it. And there was no proper execution after his death. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm putting it out right, but something felt odd. Something felt absolutely odd about Rick's death. Like it felt like Kirkman just woke up one day and he's like, next issue, I'm going to kill Rick. And he just did it. You know what I mean? It felt like there wasn't a lot of planning going on. Ronnie Thomas, do you think we'll ever see Daryl in the comics? Probably not. Critical King Ken 214, some people were saying about Carl going to pull Maggie. Wait. Carl's going to pull a Maggie or shit. He wrists from the cliffhanger. His wrists from the cliffhanger. Or slit his wrists from the cliffhanger. Oh, I see. No. I see what you mean. From the cliffhanger of the last issue. I don't think Carl is going to kill himself. They're going to resolve that pretty quick. I think he's going to try to do something and then Michonne is going to change his mind. Something like that. Voltex 33, will we see Althea in the mid-season finale? Some finale, season finale, or not in Fear the Walking Dead? What's your prediction? I think we will see Althea later on because in the main trailer of the season, we did see her in other shots. So I think we will see her. I don't know which episode, but we will see her. I don't know whether she's going to integrate into the movie now or if she's going to stay in Fear. Or if she's going to go to The Walking Dead. I just don't know what they're going to do with her. Cade Woody, hey man, I love your channel. Man, and your reactions. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support, man. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy the content. Again, as soon as the episode for tonight is done, my reaction will be posted because I have it already. So as soon as the episode is done, check back on the channel because the reaction will be up to this upcoming episode for tonight. We're 20 minutes in, so we'll go for another 10 minutes. And that'll be the end of this stream for tonight. I might do another video tonight before the episode. reaction is posted. I might not, depends, because I have a few things I want to get done, not for the channel, but personal. So after that's done, if I have time, I will definitely do a video for Fear the Walking Dead before the react, or as outside of the reaction. And obviously tonight, my trailer breakdown for the next episode will be posted as well. So expect to see that after my reaction as well. Probably I'll just wait for it to be posted on AMC first, and then I'll do the trailer breakdown and then upload it. So it should be up within maybe an hour or maybe less after the episode itself ends. Ronnie Thomas, I think honestly Rick is proud that Carl did not kill Sebastian, because for Rick, that proved he managed to make Carl a man in a world where he can be safe. That's one way you could look at it for sure. And I'm not saying that he should have killed Sebastian. I'm just saying there should have been more emotion. There should have been more reaction. There should have been a bit more tension. Carl was very cold when he acted at that point, when he talked to Sebastian. So my thing is not that he didn't kill him. My thing is he was too cold, you know? Kate, what do you think there could be a time jump on Fear that catches up with the Walking Dead timeline? And if so, do you think it could happen sometime this season? I don't think they're going to do a time jump. They have done everything in their power so far to make sure Fear is always behind the Walking Dead timeline. Always. Even if it felt forced sometimes. So, I think if there's a point they're going to do it, then it's not going to be anytime soon. Because right now, they're doing everything they can to make sure Fear is ahead of the Walking Dead timeline. Ronnie Thomas, imagine instead of saying what Rick would have said instead of Carl or Lori. Yeah, it would have been completely different. Even if Rick didn't kill Sebastian, if Carl died instead of Rick, Rick would have come at Sebastian like he was going to rip his throat out, you know? So I was expecting to see some fire in Carl. I don't know, something that's going to make him angry and want to get to Sebastian to try to, like, beat him up a little bit. You know what I mean? Something there. They needed to be something there. And it just wasn't there. Voltex33, the one thing I'm pissed about the issue we didn't see Rick's funeral. Andrea had it, but Rick didn't. I think the funeral is going to come, maybe in another issue, but what I'm most pissed about is no one reacted to Rick's death other than Carl, or we didn't see it. Kevin Leal, what are you expecting in the new spinoff? I hope it's unique and different. I hope it's something that makes us appreciate the universe a little bit more. I hope it's not something like The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead. I hope it's something that we haven't seen before, you know? In terms of me making a prediction about what I think the spinoff should be, there's lots of possibilities. They could do the military route, go the military route. They could go the finding a cure route. They could go the government route. They could go the what else? I hope it's a little different than what we've already seen on The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. Mario, how's it going, Ash in chat? It's going great. Glad you could join, Mario. One thing I do want to plug here, not plug, but I do want to talk about real quick. If you are on the chat, if you enjoy the content, and if you're not a subscriber, make sure to go and subscribe. And also, even if you are a subscriber, make sure to go check to see if you're still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing users for some reason. So make sure you do that, and also make sure you check and make sure that the notifications bell is enabled or is turned on, because if you don't turn it on, or if it's been turned off automatically by YouTube somehow, you will not get automated notifications about uploads. So if you want to be reminded about uploads, make sure to check the notification bell. Voltex33, can Fear the Walking Dead get 6th season? I doubt it. Viewers are getting less and less. Depends on how successful season 5 is. If season 5 is a mess, then I don't think it makes sense. They might do it. It's just going to be very low popularity. No one's going to watch. If this season that's great, then they could bounce back, and they could obviously make a season 6, season 7 even. Kate Woody, do you think the first half of season 10 of The Walking Dead will mostly focus on the Whisperer War, and the second half will focus on the New World Order story? Yeah, I think that makes a whole lot of sense. They may not necessarily cut it off, like after the mid-season finale, we won't see any more Whisperers. They might not necessarily do that. Things might blend into one another, but the focus, the majority of the storyline in the first half will most likely just be the Whisperer War. And the second half, the New World Order story arc. Mario, I watched episode 3 of Fear today. I did as well. That's why I said earlier on, you can watch my reaction right after the episode ends, because I can upload it right away, because I already have the reaction edited. I can say best episode so far into the season. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I enjoyed this episode a lot, and this episode single-handedly gave me confidence in the season and the story. I could even go as far as saying this is my top 5, one of my top 5 favorite Fear the Walking Dead episodes. I can go as far as saying that. Or top 10. Let's be realistic. Top 10. It's probably top 5, but I'll just be more realistic and say top 10. Ronnie Thomas, honestly, man, without Rick in the comics, for me, the comics are over. In a way, I absolutely agree with you. Let's see where the story goes, and let's see what they're going to do. But I do see where you're coming from, and I agree with you to an extent. We're 30 minutes in, so that's probably going to be the end of the stream. I'll go for another 5 minutes to get some rapid fire Q&A, and then after that we'll kind of end it. But I might stay tuned, because I might upload another Fear the Walking Dead video tonight before the episode starts. But if not, definitely stay tuned for my reaction, and after that, stay tuned for my episode breakdown of the trailer breakdown of the next episode. But I might have time to upload one more video before the reaction. We'll see, but stay tuned for that. Mario, dude, those kids at the end got vibes from the last season of The Walking Dead. Yeah, not to spoil it for people who haven't watched. So let's not go into specifics, Mario, please. But I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. That was a hell of a twist. But let's not go into more detail, because it's going to spoil it for people who haven't watched already. Kevin Leal, I think there will be a season 6, because if this was the last season of Fear, the trailer for season 5 would have announced it. The thing is, they might not know it, but they might not necessarily renew it for a season 6. That's the thing. I don't think the cast and the crew want this to be the final season. The thing is, if the ratings are bad, if it's not popular, they might have to cancel it. And it might not be renewed. Mario, there goes all the theory about another group out there. Yeah, again, let's not jump into spoilers from this episode tonight, because people might not have watched. I get what you mean, but let's not go into specifics. Kate Woody, what's been your favorite season, The Walking Dead season, and what's been your least favorite season of The Walking Dead? Favorite season of Walking Dead is season 9. Next to it, very close, is season 6. Least favorite season would have to be season 7. Season 7. Mario, yeah, no details. Yeah, please no details, because there could be people who haven't watched the episode yet. We have another 3 minutes for rapid fire Q&A, so get your questions in, and that'll be the end of our stream. Voltex 33 are all episodes earlier on AMC Premiere. I think a selected few, not all of them. They decide which ones they want on Premiere, which ones they don't. But yeah. And also I'm in Canada, so I don't get AMC Premiere. The only way I can see it sometimes on AMC Premiere is if, and that's a huge if someone who has AMC Premiere can hook me up with it. You know what I mean? But I don't always do that. It's only if... depends, because tonight, because I have a lot of crap outside of YouTube I need to get done, I was like, I might not have enough time to react, do the trailer breakdown, and all of that. So I'm like, it'll be great if I can see it early, so that way I can finish my reaction, so I don't have to spend time on my reaction, and I can, you know, spend that time in for something else. But I try not to do that because I understand, you know, whatever. But if AMC puts AMC Premiere for Canada, I'll get it. It's just that we don't have it here. Mario, but they crushed their own ratings with Fear 4B. Yes, they did. They absolutely did. I think season 4B of Fear has got to be the worst half season Fear has ever produced. It must be. It must be. Kate, Woody, my final question. Do you think that animals could turn? We haven't seen that yet. I would love to see an animal walker. I think they could. I don't see a reason why they couldn't. And yeah, it would be very interesting to see something like that. I don't know if they're going to do it because there's a lot of, you know. But we did have that scene in season 9 of The Walking Dead with Negan and the dogs. They didn't necessarily show it, but that was, what do you call it? Borderline inappropriate for TV in a way. Not inappropriate for TV in a way, but I don't know how to say it, but I could easily have seen animal groups coming at them, and maybe they did, for that scene being too gruesome for you know, for people. But I think that's the reason why they don't do it. Things like that. Mario, I'm from EU. My friend also hooked me up with episodes. That's why. Yeah, that's exactly why. People hooked me. Some people hooked me up. That's the thing. Alright, that will be the end of the stream. Thanks everyone for joining the chat and asking questions and supporting the channel. I appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying the content, and you know, we're gonna continue pushing it, and you know, we'll hopefully we'll do more content on the channel. We'll expand, but yeah, hopefully we'll do that later on. But stay tuned. Just for now, stay tuned for like I said, maybe a Fear video before my reaction, but of course my reaction, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for my trailer breakdown of the next episode, and then we'll go from there. We'll do other content this week. We'll continue the Telltale's Walking Dead gameplay, and we'll continue talking about Fear maybe, and we'll do some comic stuff maybe. So we have some content coming up this week for sure. But that's basically it for this live stream Q&A. Thanks everyone again, and I'll see you guys soon.